Hello farmers, once again welcome to Farming in Africa, and today I want to talk about one of the most exciting things and important things to livestock farmers all over the world. This I had to learn the hard way, and it took me years of experiment and research to be able to draw this conclusion. And today I'm going to talk to you about the number one out of the four most important things that every livestock farmer needs to get right in order to succeed in the livestock business. And that is why today I'm choosing the most important one to share with you guys for free. And this has cost me a lot of traveling, a lot of research to be able to finally lock it down. And that's why today I want us to discuss. So if you're a livestock farmer, you don't want to miss this episode. Stay tuned as I come back and explain to you what it's going to take for you to get the most out of your livestock farm. Welcome back, guys, and I'm glad you stick around because this information that I'm going to give today I think is going to be very helpful to you if you're a livestock farmer. If you're doing poultry, pig, sheep, goats, or even cattle, like, you need this information in order to succeed. Without this, I tell you, you're going to lose your animals and you're going to lose your investment. But before I go into this specific one, what are the four most important things that every livestock farmer needs to get right? Number one is the breed. So the reason why some of you, I think poultry has been understood well in Ghana and in Africa. So people are willing to buy chicken from Belgium, to buy chicken from Holland and bring it into Ghana. Why? Because of those breeds. Whether you're buying the Golden Comet or whatever breed that you're buying, there is a reason why you're not buying local chicken and you're buying birds that are flown from Belgium and Holland into Ghana because you believe in the genetic. The same thing applies to all livestock animals. If you don't have the right breed, you are definitely not going to get the size or the milk or the production that you need. Even let's take human beings, for example. Somebody like me, I've been the same weight for the past 10 years. It doesn't matter what I eat or what I do or what time I eat. It's my genetic, right? So if you have a goat that is fed and his genetic is small and you feed that goat or whatever you do to that goat is still going to be a skinny goat to you. That's me. If you get somebody that is obese or has obesity in their family, I think it doesn't matter what they do. Even when they are stressed, they still get bigger. That's genetics. So it's very important that depending on what you want to do as the farmer, you choose the right genetic to suit you. You can't choose, a West African dwarf and expect to have a high milk production. You need to choose an Ipan goat or a Senan goat to be able to have that. You can't keep a West African dwarf and expect to have 80 kg of meat from it. No, you need to choose a Boer goat or a Kalahari Red, right? So genetic is number one, but that's not what we are talking about today. Number two is nutrition, right? Once you have the right genetics, if you don't feed them the right minerals and nutrients they need, that animal is not going to be able to give you its potential, which is what it already has in him. So giving them the right food is great. Then number three is health. Obviously, your food can become a medicine, but we know that there are some viruses, there are climates, there are different bacteria that even though we feed them right, we need to fight or prevent them from even getting it, like vaccinations, right? So then that becomes the three most important thing that a farmer needs to know. Having a medication plan that you follow to make sure that certain kind of diseases and viruses are prevented. Then the last one, which is number four, is management. Obviously, if you do all these three things right and your pen or your structure is not right, or let's say you don't have trained people, even the way they handle the animal could affect them by killing them, the way how your environment is, all these things comes into management. The people you have, the facilities you have, water, what kind of water are they giving to them? Are they giving them dirty water? All these things could also cause hazard to your animals. So these are the four most important things that I think every livestock farmer needs to know. And if you want to go in depth in any of these things, please go down there. You can schedule a time with me and I will come one-on-one, discuss it with you, help you draw a plan for your livestock. But today, out of these four, I'm going to pick nutrition and talk to you guys about nutrition. And before I go into nutrition, I just want to open your eyes to certain things. So how do you even identify, or what are the issues in case your goat or your cattle is malnutrition, right? So I've had a lot of messages from some of you. You reach out to us on WhatsApp. You say, my goat had a miscarriage, or I've had a goat for 2 years or a cow for 2 years. That cow is not able to give birth. Guess what? Miscarriage could be another thing that is caused by lack of nutrition. And I know this is something that a lot of farmers deals with it. And it's very sad because, a farmer, your profit is the babies. Yesterday, good for us, 2 of our goats actually gave birth. One of them gave birth to 3, and then one of them gave birth to 2, right? If you don't have nutrients, or if your goat is not having enough nutritious food, it cannot be able to give that birth because it needs these nutrients to be able to pass it on into the baby, right, whilst it's forming it. And that if the mom is lacking that, then the baby cannot survive. So what happens? The baby dies inside and have to come out. And this is costing a lot of you money, right? So what are the nutrients it needs and so on to be able to form its baby, right? So a lot. I walk around and, one thing I enjoy is actually pointing out a good local goat and a bad local goat, because when I see a goat that is healthy, even the skin color will be able to tell me that this goat is getting all the nutrients that it needs. How are these goats getting their nutrients? Let me know in the comment below what kind of nutrients, what kind of food are you actually feeding your goat? And maybe I can help you out, but write in the comment, let us know, what are you feeding your goat, your cow, your sheep, your pigs with? I think when it comes to pigs and poultry, people are more conscious about it and they try to mix something to feed them. But when it comes to goats and cows, we leave them on their own. Yes, they will get a lot of the nutrients that they need roaming in plants. In the dry season, most of the plants die, if you haven't observed this. And that is why in the dry season, our animals get so skinny to the point that sometimes they even lose their life. Because if they are eating only grass, then they are not getting majority of the feed that they need, right? And that is very risky. You're going to lose pregnant women, you're going to have miscarriage, and you're probably going to lose even any animal that you have if they are not getting this nutrient, right? The goats that are walking around, even if it's in the dry season and they are getting all the nutrients, they will still miss certain nutrients. Nutrient like selenium is found in the soil. So if you're in an area where you don't have selenium in the soil, that goat is never going to get it, right? Salt. Even we human beings, we haven't been able to identify a plant that has salt, iodine in it. And therefore, we have to use salt in every meal. The same thing for goats. They need iodine. So without salt, where are they going to get it from? So that's why we, the farmers, need to be intentional about it. You can't have a livestock, keep them, and say, I'm not going to give them iodine. I'm not going to give them selenium. I'm not going to give them a proper ratio of phosphorus and calcium, which is going to help them be able to grow, right? And some of these vitamins. So goats as an animal cannot produce vitamin A, D, E, and K by themselves. So if you're a farmer, you need to be able to provide this for your goats, right? So vitamin A, D, E, and K. So if you have a goat and that goat is not getting those vitamins, there's no way that goat is going to perform for you, right? And that is why we have been testing nutrition at our farm for the past about 6 years. You guys know I went to South Africa, I went to meet with these nutritionist guys to understand. We also send our soya beans, our wheat brown, our corn, the sementia grass. We sent it to South Africa, where they put it in the laboratory and really were able to give us the results of all the content that is in it. Based on that, they were able to suggest formulas for us to mix together and produce our feed. And we've been testing this for the past almost a year now, and that is why now we are seeing our goats give birth to 2, we are seeing them give birth to 3, right? And that's the magic of feed, aside all the other things that we do to make sure that they keep alive, right? And that is why you can see behind me that we have the Fear AgroVenture livestock feed as well. So this is feed that we've tested at our farm. This is from a farmer to a farmer. And that's why we're bringing this to your doorstep. So if you guys have goats, sheep, cattle, pig, whatever and livestock that you're rearing, get your hands on this. This is a supplement. This is not the main food that you need for your goat. So what we've done is to combine all the nutrients that these livestock need together. So as they go out, as they go and graze on your cementia grass, as they go and graze wherever they graze and they come back, you make sure that they have all the supplements that they need. What are the supplements that they need? So basically what we've taken is the vitamins. So as I said, the goat cannot produce vitamin A, D, E, and K for himself. So we make sure that we have all these vitamins in this food. So that is in a powder form. You can say I have vitamins, but if you give powdered vitamin to your goat, what you're calling for is another pneumonia to yourself, right? So you want to palletize it and put it in the mix. And also you need to know what percentage of it you want to add to it. Then there's something we call micro pack. So micro pack is basically the major macros. So it's the mixture of your potassium, your calcium, your phosphorus, your manganese, your iron, your copper, your zinc, your sulfates, right? All mixed together in a pack. And that we have a percentage that we mix per the vitamin. Then we take your other raw materials, which is your cementia grass, your corn, your wheat brown for energy. We'll do your salt for iodine. And then we'll mix these three components. So your raw materials, your macro pack, and your vitamins together. That's what we've done here. At the moment, you guys know what these materials cost. Maize, soya beans, they are very expensive. So what we are trying to achieve here is nothing new. Everybody can do it. But what we are trying to achieve here is making it available to farmers, because nobody's really caring about us, right? I've searched everywhere trying to find food for my goats, trying to find food for my cows, and nobody is doing it. If you have a pallet machine or you have the money to buy a pallet machine, come here, come and get some from our agro shop. We'll teach you how to prepare your own food. But if you can't and you have 5 goats, 6 goats, you're hoping to expand that, those goats are not going to grow and expand for you if they are lacking these minerals. And that's why we have done this feed, to share it with other farmers, where we know that if you feed this to your female goat, it will get all the nutrients it needs to be able to produce and yield results for you, right? And this is more of a supplement. So like I was saying, whatever your goat is grazing on or eating, if you have cassava peels, if you have the cementia grass, continue to allow that goat to feed on that. But once it comes home, whether in the evening or in the morning, you feed a percentage of this to that goat. Don't forget, a goat eats only 4% of their body weight. So if you're looking at a West African dwarf, which averagely weighs about 15 kg, then you're going to feed only 600 grams of feed to this goat. So 600 grams only. I've had people say, Fred, the goats ate small and then they didn't eat the rest. I will go and they're feeding like, they've poured like 2 kg for that goat. That goat doesn't need much, right? Even a boa goat, a big boa goat, is eating about 1 kg in a day. So if your goat is grazing or eating other stuff, what it needs is a small portion of this to cover its nutritional deficiency. And that is how we treat this food. So if you're a livestock farmer, whether you're doing goat, sheep, whatever livestock that you're doing, come grab one, have it there. If you're doing West African goat, weigh them. If you weigh them, look at 4% of their body weight. Ask yourself, what are they feeding outside? If they're feeding 2%, that means I'm going to add 2% of this. If they're feeding 3%, that means that you need 1% here, right? So for example, if I'm feeding a West African dwarf that is 15 kg, and I assume that that goat is getting maybe 3, and I'm feeding him maybe 0.5 kg from feed, that means that I'll be feeding that goat about 600 grams, right? So you have to do your math. If you don't know, come to our shop when you buy this, tell us how many goats you have, tell us their weight, or we can assume for you if you tell us the breed that you have, and we'll give you a calculation so that you know exactly what you need to be able to feed that goat. We are available to support you guys. As I said, this is not magic. A lot of the raw materials you can find here. I think the only difference in this food, which is our secret sauce, is a micro pack that we put together from South Africa. If you find a micro pack that you think works for you, you can make this anywhere that you are, right? But what we're trying to do is to make sure that, you know, Kofi, the youth, somebody who has just 4 or 5 goats hoping to scale will have the right nutrients it needs to be able to scale its farm. And that's what we're trying to do here in Farming in Africa. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if I can help you, because if you get your nutrition wrong, you will not be able to succeed. The same thing with human. The same effort and energy we give to our babies so that they can grow strong bones, they can grow healthy, they can grow at the right rate. It's the same thing we got to give to animals, especially if we have confined them or restricted them in a way. But even if they are grazing outside, it's not everything that they can get. As human beings, you eat banku, you eat your wache, you eat everything whenever, but the issue is you are still going to be lacking some vitamins, and that's why you buy egg and eat it. That's why you buy orange and you eat it. That's why your doctor will advise you, buy this supplement, buy this fruit, so that you supplement whatever major food you're eating with certain nutrients that is missing. And that's exactly what we are also doing here. So I hope this is helpful. Let us know if you have any questions or any way that we can help you so that we can all grow the livestock industry together. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.